The resolution is a bit strange. Yeah, look, on the computer, I mean, it's difficult to sense the board like this.
I see. Change the resolution of the screen, right?
Yeah, yesterday was okay, but... It feels very strange, the board like this, I cannot feel it.
He cannot feel the board like this.
It's flat somehow.
Yeah, you understand. Which one? This one? Or the normal one, the common one?
Like this? Yes, thank you. Hello. I would like to start my lesson. Today the topic is direction of play. Actually, this is supposed to be like more advanced class, but somehow my topics are always getting close to fundamentals of Go. So for today I have chosen a game. So we will discuss this concept of direction of play by studying this game. But before I start, I would like to say a few things about what is actually this direction of play. This concept refers to where is big on the board, where we have potential to play. So to understand what are the big areas, this is like the first part of the game is this development on a large area. But later on in middle game, we also have the concept of direction of play. Sometimes we have groups that we can attack. And there are many ways to attack groups, but we have to find the profitable way. We have to know where we want to make territory, where is the area that is important for us, and then attack from that direction. Okay, so to start with, I would like to say that even when we play in the corners, we already have to have this concept of direction of play. As you well know, we have normally, most normal plays in the corners are combination of the third line with fourth line, sometimes with the fifth line. So we have Sansan and Hoshi, this kind of opening in the corner, it's on the symmetry line, and because of this it doesn't have a certain direction. This kind of stone is looking in both directions in a similar fashion, with equal value. But when we play, for example, Komoku, this stone already has a direction of play. It's like the stone has eyes and it's looking in one direction. Can you tell me which is the direction in which this Komoku is looking? Downstairs. So the downstairs, you mean the right side? So let's vote. So basically we have two sides that we can vote, the upper side and the right side. So who believes the direction of play of Komoku is on of this Komoku is on the right side? Quite a few people. And the upper side? Oh, about same, maybe even less. Okay, then it was a good thing that we are doing this lecture today, because the correct answer is the direction of play of this Komoku is on the upper side. The stone is looking towards the upper side. Why? Because this is the place where we want to play next. If black has the next move, black would like very much to close the corner like this. Sometimes in a different fashion, like a little bit larger, but anyway, this is the same idea. So normally when we want to play from this komoku, we would like to play on the upper side and somehow finish the play here. Also, in modern Go we see very often this kind of move. Recently this kind of move also appears as extension from komoku, but all of them are on the upper side. This is the direction of play of this move. Of course, if I change the komoku and I put the komoku here, then the direction changes and it's looking towards the right side. So suppose I play komoku and then I make shimari like this. This time the direction of play is shifting. We have a new direction of play from this formation. Which one do you think now? It's the upper side or the right side? I see some people laughing. It's too easy. Maybe it's an easy topic, but already from the first vote, I saw that the opinions were shared on the direction of play of the komoku. So this is extremely important knowledge, in my opinion. Because if you want to become good in Fuseki, this kind of knowledge is essential. So let's vote again. Side. No, this time you know from the books, huh? And who thinks is the right side? Yes, everybody. Okay, so this maybe it's more obvious also because this formation of two stones is like a wall, and from the wall we want to extend and make some kind of box shape. Okay. But then we have sometimes some a little bit more unusual openings like Moku Hazushi, this 3-5 corner opening. What do you think about the direction of play of this move? This is a bit strange. Okay, so opinions? Upper side. Right side. Upper side, okay. Towards the corner, this move wants the corner? So, you know, I mean, starting from like really even more basic things is like the lines. We have the first line, second line, third line, fourth line, right? So, the first line is like the dead line, the second line is the losing line, and the third line is the territorial line. So, if we play on the third line, we are focused on territory. If we play on the fourth line, already we are focused on influence, and the fifth line, it's even extra influence. But if the opponent, for example, this stone is on the fifth line, if the opponent comes under, it's extremely easy to leave, no matter where we put the stone. Also, I can put it on the fifth line somewhere else. If the opponent comes under this stone, it's very easy for him. So the idea of this stone on the fifth line is actually extreme orientation towards the center, but it's a strange combo, this corner opening, because it's a combination of the third line, and the third line is the territorial line. So the message is a bit strange. So like the normal theory about this move is that after this, in a strange way, we don't feel like closing the corner anymore. So from komoku, normally we want very, very much to close the corner, but from this move, it's not really the same feeling. We want to go bigger in a greater fashion. Something like this style, for example, go bigger. And in order to understand better the direction of play of this move, we should analyze what happens when the opponent comes in this kind of move. Here we have a very simple joseki. Most natural joseki is to play something like this, and then black can extend toward the side. And now I think the direction of play becomes a little bit more obvious, because when we play this kind of 3-5 opening, actually we expect the opponent to enter, and then we expect this kind of result to happen. So now we see that actually the direction of play is not on the upper side. The black wants to develop on the right side. But not only the side. This stone has a very big influence also towards the center. So you see this area here. So basically the direction of play of this kind of Moku Hazushi it's towards the side, but also towards the center. So the strong point of this kind of move is that it can make very fast development towards the center, but it's weak to make territory. And also we have Takamoku, this 5-4 opening, and this is even worse, let's say, than Moku Hazushi in the sense that it really doesn't care about territory. This move is a combination of the fifth line. So it's extremely oriented towards the center, and if the opponent comes like this, we can expect, for example, this kind of joseki. This shows very well the direction of play of this move. And this time you notice we also have some orientation towards the right side, but this time it's even more heavy orientation towards the center for black. So this move, when we play 5-4, we really want the center. Okay, so this is like some basic theory about the corner openings, and this already gives us some hints in the Fuseki. So normally after we play 4 moves, the 5th move is already a decision-making move. So let me start now with this game. Okay, I will play it a little bit strangely in this fashion because this is the way it was shown to me. No, sorry. Okay, so like this. So we already have a Fuseki, and in Fuseki, at the 5th move, we have to decide between 4 large areas on the board, A, B, C, and D. This is a test that you should get used to do all the time in Fuseki. You will have 4 areas that in the beginning are very large, and the more the Fuseki advances, those areas are getting smaller, but still you will have to decide between those 4 sides, which is the biggest. So basically, the normal evolution of a Go game, we first take the corners and then we fight for the sides. Finally, we will advance towards the center. So, let's see, for example, now let's think between A, B, C, and D. Let's try to make an order in the value of those 4 areas. How shall we judge the value of those large areas? We have some basic principles. One of them is the distance between the stones. If you notice, is not equal. If you start counting the distance between, for example, on the right side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But on the upper side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have a difference of 1 line, which means the right side is wider by 1 line than the upper side. And like this we can calculate also the rest of the sides. And another very important principle that appears when we have to make the decision is the direction of play of stones. Okay? So let's try to make some guess here, which are the big sides, and actually maybe I started with a difficult test. Let me change a little bit first the position of this Komoku, and I will put it here. And now again A, B, C, D. Okay, which do you think is the biggest side on the board right now? Let's vote. Who think it's A? Who think it's B? C? D? Okay, so the big majority is for D, and then A is the most popular as next move. So yeah, you are from percentage of voting, you are correct. In this side is the biggest because the distance between the 2 stones, it's maximum possible in this kind of two corners facing each other, but also the direction of play of both komokus on the lower side is towards the side D. You see, as I said before, this kind of komoku is looking towards the, for example, the komoku on the lower side, both of them are looking towards the lower side. On the left side, we have a komoku that is looking towards the left side, but the other komoku doesn't look on this side. So we have only one stone that has influence direction of play towards the left side. And towards the upper side and the right side, both komokus are not looking on those sides, and the hoshi is kind of poker face, looking equally in both directions. So because of this, the actual order of moves in this fuseki, for example, is D is the biggest, second is A, and B and C are equal, but less in value. So this kind of judgment, it's quite useful to make when we play fuseki. After we make this judgment, of course, we have to decide, now we know the area where we want to play. From the four large areas on the board, now we know we want to play on the lower side. And from here, there are many ways to play. We can just make a normal shimari, we can play something like this. There are a lot of possibilities, but what was important was to decide which is the biggest area on the board. Okay, so now I go back to my game, which is like this. And okay, let's follow. This is a real game that I commented today. At this point, again, we have this ABCD test. This time is not so obvious between those sides, but there is one out of the four sides that is the smallest. So three of them are more or less equal in value, but one is the smallest. Can you tell me which is the small one? Correct, yes, because of the direction of play of the komoku. But as soon as I change the komoku, for example, from this D17 to C16, the value of the sides will change. If I change C16, A will be the smallest side, and B will become bigger. Okay, so probably most of you don't even think about this, but you play correctly nevertheless, because the instinct here is to make this kind of shimari, for example, and continue with normal moves like this. So okay, after black made shimari, again the direction of play and the value of the sides has changed, and again I will give you the ABCD test, and I can bore you like this for 1 hour. Move after move, I make this test. Now which is the biggest side? ABCD. This is quite easy, I think. This time we see that the shimari, the direction of play of the black shimari, it's towards the lower side, and it's quite a big influence this shimari has. But also the direction of play of the komoku, this komoku is looking towards this side. So compared to the rest of the board, here we have a very important area where there is a lot of value to play. So next move for white is obvious. White has to. Now again we have many ways to play. In the real game, white chose to play like this. So this is also a Joseki choice. Now black can change the direction. From here the game will take completely different course if we play depending on the Joseki we play. For example, if we play something like this, we put still a lot of accent on the lower side. If we play something like this, we want a quick territory with black and sente. So this is the value of this Joseki. This is a very basic Joseki. Black normally the lower side was quite important, was a very big influence for black there. But black accepts to let white extend on the side, which normally should be a big minus. But in exchange, black takes quite a bit of territory in the corner, and black is center. This is the pluses. Those are the pluses and the minuses of this Joseki. In exchange, white become quite strong. So normally, here the choice of this Joseki depends on the player style. I never played this Joseki with black, for example, because I like to play influence. In my opinion, black's territory it's big, but it cannot grow anymore, as opposed to white, who becomes strong towards the center, and white can increase this area a lot. But this is really a matter of what we like to play. If we like territory, we like thickness. So, okay, if black chose a different Joseki, for example, something like this, then again the direction of play will change very much. This time, black start to put a lot of attention to the left side. Okay, so each move has a message, what we want to do, and if we listen to the message of this move, then it's more easy to understand the direction of play and where is big next on the board. Okay, so far both players played very well, and here again is a decision moment in the game. Where is the next biggest point on the board? And this is not easy to answer. So this time on the left side, I will put directly A here. It's the way to play for both players. On the upper side, something, I just point the side. So, okay, maybe I will leave the A also like this. So we have the C side, and this time, you know, the lower side become much narrower. So we have places like this and like this. Before deciding the actual move of this game, the next move, we have to decide where we want to play, which area we like to play. A, who votes for A? Okay. B, we have some people who like B actually. C, okay, very democratic. We have people for every move, I see. And D, okay. E, I'm hoping nobody raises up. I think he was making fun. Yes, E right now, E maybe, but right now it's a very narrow area, and who would play here the next move have some problem with, let's say, balance and maybe jealousy. They really cannot stand that the opponent take any territory at all. So the moment they see the opponent make like 5 points of territory, they go in and say, it's not yours. So this would be really a display of too much jealousy, but the rest of the moves are quite reasonable, so I will delete the E, actually. And now we have to decide between the other four. I will start some kind of elimination process. To me, now there is one move that I can eliminate from A, B, C, D. And this move is B. And again, the decision to eliminate the move B from my list is because the direction of the Komoku at D17 is towards the left side. C also, black has a Shimari, but the Shimari doesn't work towards the right side, it works towards the lower side. So C also right now is not so interesting. So we have to decide between A and D. And normally this kind of Kakari, if this is the only Komoku left on the board, this kind of Kakari is normally very big. But in this situation, there is some feeling of, let's say, black doesn't feel that this time this is such a great move, and there is a good reason for it. Can someone tell me what is the reason that this move doesn't feel so great?
Black is low on the left, bottom left. Strong already?
Yeah, and strong. This is very important. If we notice some strong, the area around the strong stones becomes small. So, for example, the worst way to play would be to play something like this. This is extremely small because we are just increasing some territory that is already very secure, adding just a few more points. So this would be terrible. So this locally on the top left corner, this is a very big kakari, but because of the shape on the left side, black has some misgivings about it. It's still a very big point, so it's not so clear how to play next. But if we consider all those things, next move with black, even if this is the narrowest place of all the four that we are considering, this kind of place has a lot of impact on the strength of stones, and also it's using the shimari, the direction of play of the shimari. So to extend here is much bigger than it looks. So this is a very attractive point, and the black strategy would be also to allow, for example, white to make this kind of shimari, and then the next move will become quite clear. We have to do something about the upper side. So this would give also a flow of stones that is good for black. The next move, when it's always easy to understand next move, it means that you are on the right flow of the game. If sometimes you play the game and at some point you really don't understand where to play next, it means that somewhere the flow was broken. Okay, so this would be a difficult Fuseki point. Quite a good choice to play this kind of move here, because we are respecting the direction of play of the. So this is what happened in the game. So both players so far played very well. And then white answered here. Well, this is not so much about our topic about direction of play, but I would like to say a few words about this. When we are in Fuseki, we are fighting for two things. First of all, we have to care about strength of stones. If there are weak stones somewhere on the board, then we should defend them. If not, we should fight always for the biggest, largest point on the board. If we miss this competition on large points, after that, if you play against a strong opponent, he doesn't have to do anything anymore in middle game and Yose. He can play just very normal moves and win the game without any effort if the Fuseki is a failure for the opponent. So, for example, in this situation, if white decides to play directly somewhere on the upper side, then we have a big question about the strength of stones. The three white stones on the lower side are not strong enough, and an approach for black it's something like disaster for white, because white is losing all the potential territory in the area. But more than that, white will have to run away with those stones, and this is a terrible burden. White will not have time to take the large points on the board because of this weak group. So this is a mandatory place to play with white. But after black play this, if we defend, we start losing the competition on big points. So this is important. This is a very solid move. But to me, the message of this move is that white was worried about the invasion at h3. Let's look a little bit. If we play, for example, now some other point on the board, what happened with this invasion? What do you think? Is this a good move or a bad move right now for black to enter here? It's good? Let's follow a little bit, let's say, the Josekis, something like this, for example. Is this good for black or bad? It's okay? Yeah, this is a big profit. It looks like white is losing all the territory and black increase a lot his territory. But black is getting slower and slower in the development on large points on the board. For example, white can continue taking large points. And then if black wants to attack this wall, it may discover that this is not so easy task. Well, okay, maybe we can jump once or something, but then white will answer somewhere. If we look the board now, even if black managed to get a lot of cash in advance, white is better developed on the board. So this is, in my opinion, already black is too slow, and normally if this was a game between very high-level players, black should lose. This kind of moves, they belong to a certain part of the game. The game of Go has 3 stages: the Fuseki, the middle game, and the Yose. And all stages have some moves that are, very easy to identify by the nature of those moves. For example, this kind of moves that we extend on large spaces are typical to Fuseki. This kind of invasions, like at A or B, middle game. But until the Fuseki is finished, it's not normal to start the middle game. Why those moves are middle game? Because the space is quite narrow, and even if we succeed to destroy this kind of territory, the value is much less here than on large spaces, where the difference is gigantic at this stage. So the natural flow of the game would be to, first of all, occupy the large points on the board, and later on, we start taking care about this kind of invasion points at A or at B. So this, in the real game, this is the first serious mistake. Well, this kind of stop is almost never bad. It's a good move, but slightly white starts to fall behind. Okay, so now, again, we are reverting to Fuseki, black to play next move. Now the lower side is completely played. I think if black plays something like this, then the game balances. Both players have the same idea, but this would be not normal. Now we should continue to play on some large point on the board. So again we have A, B, and C. So this time, what do you think between A, B, and C? This is again difficult choice. I cannot say even myself like this is the best move. I'm sure of it. This is 100% the best move. In Fuseki, very often we have a choice. So you wanted to? You mean B and C are equal?
Well, yeah, just from the four corners. And then first we have the Shimari and the extension together are like the walls to the upper, to the right side.
Yeah, this feeling is good. So the moment black played M3, it's kind of increasing this black wall, and we would like, this time is more attractive to extend towards C, right? This is what you're saying. Yeah, each time an extra stone comes and this becomes longer, it's like the wall becomes bigger and the influence, of course, is bigger. So this formation of 3 black stones here has a pretty towards this side. But on the other hand, also the white stone here is reducing the potential black territory. So, but this feeling is correct. This C now increased a little bit in value after M4. So let's go back a little bit one step, and now the intuition would. Well, where should have been the correct way for white to play? The correct area for white? A, B, or C? Very often, if you want to discover the next move, it's good to think from a black point of view, from the opponent point of view. If you were black, for example, let's put a black stone and see how it looks. I can put a black stone, you get the impression, the feeling. I can play something like this. You get an impression, some feeling, and I can put a new impression, right? Each time we see this kind of shape, the feeling we have about the position changes. So now that you see those possible variations, what do you think? Where would you like to play with white between A, B, and C? C, because the three black stones are acting like some kind of wall. They put some influence towards the right side. So to play this kind of move seems like a good way for white. And also we can play a little bit larger. We can play like this. When we extend like this towards the side, we have to also be careful about the continuations. I played here and not R9, for example, because white is making kind of mi this A and B moves. For example, if black enters, then white needs some space to extend in order to fight. So if I extend it a little bit farther here, then when black invades, white doesn't have space to extend, so this can be dangerous. Okay, but it looks like C is like a really desirable area. But when white played here and now is black to play, normally we have, oh, sorry.
Actually, the C is does qualify as double wing formation, right?
Yes.
I mean, the extension is a bit smaller, but we sure it's white, so with the...
It's still a double wing, yes.
Okay, yeah,
And the double wing formation, it's a lot of potential. So, for example, if white play, let's choose a bad place for white, something like this, and we play something like this. It's not like M4 could have been sometimes at K4 to make it even more spectacular, but even now means a lot of potential for black. And usually when you have a moyo like this, the way to judge, to assess the situation is to calculate the possible territory you can get and then divide it by half. Because if the opponent enters a moyo, he can only destroy half of the moyo. He cannot destroy all. For example, the concept of San Rensei and Chinese Fuseki, you split the side in two, and if the opponent invades one area, then you will make the other area into territory. So this is basically how we sense moyo. We make a very large area, we invite the opponent to enter, and then if we get half, we are very happy. If we make a moyo of 100 points, 50 points is still a very good deal. So this is more or less the idea. Okay, so let's follow the game. White played this, which is slow, and black now has to choose between this kind of variation. Here we can extend in many ways. This kind of variation, let's say, well, of course, with each move, the game can change. The opponent can make a different decision, but I will take the simple variation to just analyze from direction of play point of view. And then we can have something like this. Against this, most likely white will answer in a solid way, because white is not interested in the left side. So this is already, for example, a dumb player feeling here would be to never play this kind of Hasami. This kind of Hasami shows bad understanding of direction of play. Because black is so strong on the left side, it's not interesting for white to invest there. And now I have a question, black to play in this kind of situation. Let's see if we can find an interesting way to play in order to get like a good direction. Now it's kind of the direction of play that about middle game, not about Fuseki. So for example, here we can jump and exchange with this kind of move, and then we can start to attack. What do you think about this kind of variation? It's okay?
Black is too low.
Hmm?
Black is too low on the left side.
Yeah, and black already there are two big minuses that I dislike with black. First of all, this exchange. It gives white profit. And second, black plays on the area where he doesn't want to play. So as I said, if we decided this area is small, then to invest stones in this area it's small. So the instinct, the feeling should be to not put stones on this area if we can afford it. So then let's discover a better plan. Maybe, yes? I don't hear you very well.
I cannot see that.
Something? Huh?
Yeah, this one.
D13?
Yeah.
This one?
Yes. And it's quite like answers to no.
It is a better feeling already because we want white to put stones in this area where it's not interesting, and we want to play on the upper side where it's more interesting. So this is already getting to a better feeling. Yes? Ah, very nice, yes. Probably done player? Are you done player? Yes, I thought so. So this kind of feeling to sacrifice the black stone or pretend to sacrifice the black stone and play something like this and then take easy position on the upper side, this is a little bit evolved thinking. So it's when we sharpen our senses concerning the direction of play, and we realize that we don't want to play in some area, then we start to develop flexible strategies like this. Because the left side was not interesting to begin with, black is ready to play this kind of, well, more or less sacrifice style, and let white play in this area, and then black develops on the better areas of the board. Okay. So, but anyway, it's how to say, Go is a very big game, and even the very top players in the world confess that they understand maybe something like 15% of what a god of Go would know. So many things are still mystery for us. For example, you can play some questionable move in Fuseki, but still get a very good game. But we are trying here to make some kind of general principles, so some basic principles that can guide us to improve the Fuseki skill and the middle game skill. Okay. So my goal in this game would be, I would hesitate between this move, but also this move here, because I don't feel the left side is interesting for the moment. So something like this. If white play like this, this also looks interesting. In this fashion, black is preparing for a long game, something like end game, a very quick end game, not so much fighting. But in the real game, we have this continuation. And here, black can play in two ways. Black can play like this, and black can play like this. And the only fact that the choice of this one of these two moves again changes the direction of play. If we play like this, can somebody tell me what is the plus of this move? Yes?
Very safe, but very slow, but for lower territory. There's not much interest in the center, and white will be pressing down.
Yeah, so I agree with you. It's very safe, and it's good to make territory actually. It's not slow on territory. But you said something after that is very good. It's weak towards the center.
Like there's no ambition for extend his moyo anymore. It's too low for the bottom right.
Yeah, certainly the moyo is not impressive right now, so white doesn't feel compelled to do something about it. but it's very safe way of playing and quite territorial. This is usually the benefit of the third line, the difference between the third line and the fourth line. If you play on the fourth line, automatically this kind of weak point becomes very urgent. So this time becomes a big target to hit the weak point at A. So this is the weak point of this way of playing, but what is the strong point? Go is a game of balance, so whenever we profit a little bit on one side, we are losing on the other. So, like this, black accepts that white can invade the side more strongly, more forcefully, but
white creates a target for black defense, or black can make interesting defenses. When white invades, black can press him down and create influence in the center.
yeah, this turn is very strong influence towards the center. So, for example, if we play the previous move, what is exactly, let's make some actual example of how this can be weak towards the center. White can play something like this, and suddenly you notice a pretty big wall appeared there, and this means that the moyo, the white moyo on the upper side can become quite impressive because of this. So this is the ambition of the move at Q12, not to allow white this kind of continuation. You see, so this is always a plus and a minus, because if we have this ambition, white will not build much on the upper side, but the attention will switch towards the right side. So basically the decision between this move to play on the third line or on the fourth line is changing the direction of play and is changing the flow of this game. Right now the upper side becomes less interesting, and the weak point at A becomes very, very urgent. Okay, so next white played Shimari, which is a good move, and black played this peaceful splitting the side like this. So far so good. And now the next move in this game will surprise you. I think except the players who actually played the game, I think nobody can guess the next move. You can try. White to play. M5 is a beautiful point. This we guessed it already. Other nice points we have on the board. Don't forget we are still in Fuseki, closing on Fuseki and on the transit towards the middle game. So A and B are both beautiful points. Other interesting points on the board? Yeah, something on the left side, even if it was not interesting, when the rest of the board is filled in, then the left side of course become also big, so something around here is also pretty big. But you probably cannot guess the next white move because white played here. Okay, so to which stage do you think this kind of move belongs? Fuseki, middle game, or Yose? Yose. It's intended as a middle game here because it has some attacking feeling, but the technique is like Yose. Okay, so this just playing at the border of the territory is this kind of Kosumi. It's a typical Yose move. So this is where I would advise caution. We should always stay in the stage of the game. If we are in Fuseki, we should not play Yose. If we are in middle game, we should not play Yose. And even we should not play middle game from Fuseki, but sometimes some fighting can erupt very early. But still we should respect the order of those stages, because This is the natural development of Go. We start playing very large areas, and then the value of each move decreases until we arrive to the last moves that are worth like half point, and finally we fill the dummy and the game is finished. So the game of Go has this decreasing pace. The moves in the beginning are extremely valuable, and then their value, as the game advances, the value of moves is decreasing. So this move belonging to Jose, it's already a huge tempo miss for white. Even if black defends, this kind of shape is not good. It's only helping black to become stronger. If white wanted to attack this kind of group, what do you think would have been an interesting direction for white? So here we can attack from this direction, or from the center, something like this or this. Something like H16. From the center. Would you do it now, or would you wait?
I think it's too early, because
yes.
I can give away the left zone and probably center the influence on another point.
Yeah, very good point. This is very important about this attacking in general and the direction of play. If it's not clear how to continue in some area, you should wait. Usually people, when they see a weak group, they start attacking. It's basic instinct. Let's say we want to kill stones, so if we see a weak group, the fighting starts. But I keep telling to my students that attacking should not be for kill. Attacking should be for profit. So in order to understand what profit we can make, we need to think about direction of play. For example, if white had already some stone around here, then this kind of direction of play would become interesting, because we are developing some side where we can make territory. But if we miss the direction of play, for example, we play from this side, and we drive the game in this fashion, then you notice that we have a big problem to assess what is the profit of white from this attack. So this kind of stones in the center, we felt good for a while, we attack the opponent, but then we have to see what is the profit. And because black has some stones on the right side, actually white cannot get almost anything. So when you start attacking, it's very important to think from which direction to attack. And this will become also apparent in this game. Okay, white played this one and exchange with this move. This is second line exchange with a valuable move in the center, so white lost something by this. And then white came here. This is promised. When the opponent comes here, black has to play something like this. Normally black would like to attack, but then this kind of it's very tough. But let's analyze a little bit more. So if we come here, this is the point where we desire to come, because also white can extend and make easy I base. And if white comes like this, then maybe it would be interesting for black if he can close white in this fashion. And if white goes out, then we can play this kind of exchange and go out as well. But in this shape, white can enter later this area, and black can lose its eye shape, so this development is a little bit risky. Because of this, this is kind of promised. When the opponent comes here, black plays this Kosumi to protect his shape. And if white play here, then black will take the eye base. In the game, white played once here, and then he extended here. So now what do you think should black do? Now, white didn't answer. He just played one time, so... Honey? Yeah, something like this to punish white for not answering. It's very big, and this kind of move makes a lot of difference in the strength of stones. in the balance of power locally. Even if white protects, white still doesn't have eyes, and we can continue later with some attack on this group. But already black shape is quite become much stronger in center, so this is a nice profit. And now suppose we want to attack this group of 3 stones. Which direction would you choose? Shall we play from here? So we can expect maybe something in this fashion. Is this profitable for black? Difficult to say, maybe. Maybe, but can be also very early. Also, we can think maybe it's important for us to analyze what happens on the lower side. We have some weaknesses in the black shape. So when you want to attack groups, sometimes the profit is direct territory, but sometimes it can be only that you make your stone stronger, or the weaknesses, you can cover your weaknesses. So in this local situation, if black plays some other place, white has this target to invade. We are now, except the left side, which is still not played, we are now in middle game, and this kind of weak point, it's crucial, it's very important. So what we would like to with black actually, we would like to develop this area where we have potential to make territory, and do it while attacking the white stones. Keima. This one. I will make the dog mount like this. Finally, in this shape, it's a little bit difficult. If you continue the attack like this, white will still answer, but black shape feels not complete. There is bad agi here. So somehow, here we need to, at some point we will need this move. So this is maybe an interesting idea, if we need to play here anyway, to attack a group from distance. You see, you play where it's valuable, where you have a potential to make something, and even if you don't have very much impact on this white, indirectly this stone is affecting a little bit the group. And if white plays something like this, then black can decide to continue or to ignore. But this kind of exchange can be very nice indirect profit for black. In the real game, black played directly this keima, so he felt he wants to directly protect his area on the lower side, which is a kind of correct feeling. There is still a little bit agi, but for the moment we are attacking this group. And black played this move, which is quite solid. In fact, it's going out and also helping the group on the upper side. And at this point, next move with white would be quite, it's quite important. Let me check. Okay. Again, we have to decide. We have still the large point on the board, unplayed, this area at A. But now pretty serious fighting has started, and we have to decide what is the priority with white. Shall we send the weak group on the right side? Shall we try to get this kind of nice point here? Shall we try to separate black? Or shall we try to attack this group even more? Or shall we try to develop the left side? Those kind of things are what we can ask ourselves in this kind of position. Yes?
Why need to move out first so we can think of taking top next and or maybe CPR for the lower bottom right?
Yeah, in Go, there is something very important. If you have weak groups and you let them to be completely surrounded, even if you can make life, this can be very painful because suddenly by attacking, Black can get a lot of profits. The idea is that, okay, let's say we take a nice point somewhere on the side. But when the opponent closes this group in like this, White will have to play many moves inside, exchange inside with outside in order to leave. And suddenly Black will have some wall around here, pretty strong wall in this area. And then the center area will become very interesting for Black. White tried to play a large point, but because he left his weak group here, Black will have a new area to develop in a very easy way. So in Go, these kind of situations are most important. When you have groups like this that are not yet clearly alive, you should not let them be completely surrounded. So in this situation, the next move should be quite clear. Idea of the next move, what to do. We should not allow this white group to be surrounded. This is the idea. So, well, maybe some very basic moves, something like this, for example, or even Toby. At any rate, we should not let this group suffer, and the game should continue from here. White didn't do that. When Black jumped here, White plays here. And this shows very well the intentions of White. In combo with another move, those two moves are showing something about the White player. What does he want? Kill, yes. He wants to kill. So even if the place at L15 is not so valuable, Black cannot make much there, this move is intent on keeping the Black group on the left side still separated. But you know this proverb, the hunter becomes the hunted, quite often in the Go game actually. So White is hunting Black, but is forgetting about his own group. So now if Black closes this White group here, it is White who is actually hunted in a much more severe way. Black is not surrounded on the left side. Black has leisure, but here already the line is completely closed. So now White has to live inside. Basically at this stage this is like a game over normally in most games. This should be the signal that White lost the game. So here let's say direction of play of Black was good. So I think both players are quite okay, but it feels that in this game the Black player is stronger than White. Black played very well, but White played this kind of move at E18 that shows a little bit, how to say, not necessarily not understanding of the game, but so much desire to kill that he's ready to make some compromise to break the order of nature, the natural order of the game, just to kill this or to try to kill this Black group. So here next move Black played something like this. This is in the right with the good idea in mind, but not technically correct, because White can still escape. For example, in this kind of with this kind of moves, White can still go out, and then Black kind of failed his attack. So when we play Go, we have this very important stage. By each move, the first step is to think where we want to play. So this is the strategic assessment of the game, which is a very important step. But the second step is equally important, the tactical decision. So we decided we want to close this white group in, but if we fail with this kind of move and white escape, then black's strategic idea is not working well. So we need, reading power to match the strategic power. I think about this game this is enough. So anyway, the discussion of direction of play, I wanted to bring it from Fuseki, where you saw it's a different type, to middle game, where we already tried to make combinations of attack and defense and developing Moyo while attacking the opponent's stones. I'm not sure the game I chose today is like the best example, and the next lesson I would like also to choose from your games. If you can, I think the next lesson about direction of play is scheduled for Friday. So before that, if you have interesting positions regarding this kind of attacking groups especially, so I would like to focus the topic of the next lesson on middle game, direction of play of attack actually. So if you played games and you felt you wanted to attack a group but you didn't know how, well, please come to me and let's try some material for the next lesson. For today, I think this is more or less what I wanted, the message I wanted to send. Are there more questions? Okay, then this is about it for today. And I'm waiting you to find some good material for the next one.
Now